think I've got the lines bled pretty good. So we'll give it a try. See if it'll crank. So, I must not have it played as good as I thought. Oh yeah, looks like the throttle's going to work. Okay, I think I've still got some air somewhere. Clean. Basically, you want to bleed it until you don't have any air bubbles coming out, until it's just a smooth flow of fuel with no bubbles. Yeah, I've evidently still got a touch of air in there somewhere. The throttle seemed to be working though, so that's at least that's kind of a good thing. Okay, so now I've got a decent idle speed. Well, when I idled it died, so got to work on that a little bit. I think now it's just because it's cold and it might still be just a touch of air in it, but I think it's getting there. But throttle's working. Don't know about stop yet. I haven't tried that yet. Not smoking anymore. That would have had to do with the shims being wrong partly. Well, the alternator is charging like it's supposed to. The RPM gauge is working. The oil pressure is good. It's about where it's supposed to be cold. So my water pump is leaking down here. My raw water pump is leaking. So I'll have to get me a rebuild kit for that. The back seal leaking, which that's an easy fix. The nice thing about this particular motor is everything is on the front. Everything you need to work on this motor pretty much is on the front. Water pump, oil filter, fuel pump, alternator, circulating pump, control, the throttle controls, checking your oil right here on the side. There's plenty of room in that boat. So it's pretty nice in that regard. The starter on the other side is on, you can get to in the boat pretty good. Just let it warm up. working now. But I think my fuel filter's about clogged. I'm going to try the cutoff. Not wanting to idle down really low. I think I've got a clogged fuel filter. But the shutoff is working, so everything is working. Now I just got to tweak it a little bit. I don't have a pressure cap on that thing right there. It's squirting water out, but it's not running hot. As a matter of fact, it hadn't even got up to 120 degrees yet, according to the thermostat. So it's still a cold engine. I'm gonna order a rebuild kit for that raw water pump because it's leaking a little bit, as you can see down there. It's leaking on the seal on the back, leaking out between the little slots there where it drains. It's pumping water good, but it's leaking, so it needs that new seal. And change filters, change oil. The belt's good. I'll probably get me a spare belt just to have, and I'll get me a spare impeller to have. And a couple of filters, fuel filters and oil filters to have. I probably need to take that air intake off and make sure it's nice and clean. Sometimes they will get full of trash. Have to be flushed out backwards. Transmission is full of clean fluid. The oil is full of relatively clean oil, not terrible. And it seems to be doing okay. So I'm real pleased. So far, other than shipping, that was a $6.45 fix. Shipping cost $18 and something for those little shims. But so anyway, that less than like $24 so far in it, and including that shipping, and I've got it running. Okay, it's idling down pretty low. Actually, that's a little bit lower than it needs to idle. That's right about there is about where it's supposed to be idling, right there. Right around 800 RPM. So that's good. Idling good. Pumps water good. Not running hot at all. It's just now starting to get up to some reasonable temperature. Been running for a little while, running at different RPMs right now for silent. It's about 150, and with this freshwater cooled system on it, it's probably going to run about 160, I think it is. Most freshwater cooled engines have like a 160 thermostat or something maybe. Raw water is usually 140 or so. When you're messing with an engine like this, you've got to remember to stay clear of that belt. It'll snag your pants, or your finger, or whatever, skin or whatever, and it'll do some damage to you if you're working on something like this while it's running. The pump quit leaking water after it ran a little bit, but I'm going to still get a rebuild kit for it and rebuild it. So, idling really good. That's as low as it'll idle right there. But that's around 700, which is a little on the low side for it. But I'm real pleased with this. I got a good deal on the boat, regardless of this engine. But now that I know that I've got a good engine, that makes it better.